he wants to make sure the jobs get done right the first time. Because if it's not, then he knows he's going to have to be back here and fix it. He has a guarantee. So why does he have to waste his time making sure that if you're going to cut corners, he'll be back here 3 times? He doesn't want to do that, right?
No. So you had that old tree there that was like all cut up and they left there, and that it's such a huge difference to how big your yard is. Just feels so much more open.
Agreed. It was a lot of work. I've seen him work before. He's done a lot of work inside my house. He knows the outlane. He knows we have a good working relationship. And it's all trust, really. It's that whole community of trust.
With the original job was to tear out the driveway and put in the new base, the item 4, and the top coat. But when we got to the bottom of the driveway, it was just landfill and just all this muck. We had to dig down 18 inches, which is very unusual for a driveway. In order to not have to charge the homeowner money to bring, extra dump fees for getting rid of that, if we can dump it on property, we don't have to charge you a dime for any of this. And that's how we're able to save money. And we're constantly looking for ways, because we all understand that we're on a budget.
Right.
And so if there's a way to save money and still do the job the right way, we're gonna do that for you.
Yeah, it's actually, he did save me money on that way.
When you're doing a driveway, the first thing you do is you're gonna tear out the driveway, you're gonna remove everything that's there, and you gotta dispose of it. Then you gotta regrade it so you can get the proper pitch so the water drains off to where you want it to go. Where you want it to go could be away from the house and off into the woods somewhere, or to a driveway drain grade or a catch basin of some kind, which in this case we did 2 driveway drain grades. Once that's done, then we're gonna put an item 4 down, which is it's a gravel concrete mix, and we're gonna tamp and compact that, and that's the base. You'll see that when you see anybody doing road work, like highways or local roads, you see them tear it out, you see them put this like gray white gravel kind of thing down first, and they're gonna compact that. And that's your base first, and then on top of that you'll put your asphalt, and then you'll compact that as well. The foundation, just like on a house, if your foundation is not done right, the house itself will settle, shift, and crack. Driveway's the same thing. A driveway's only as good as the foundation's built on, so the item 4 is an imperative part of the job. We'll get into some of the other aspects of the drive as well. The Belgian block isn't just there for cosmetics. It's not just there to make it look pretty, although it looks gorgeous.
Right.
It does serve an actual structural purpose, and it's the kind of picture frame and hold that driveway together. So this way it doesn't stretch apart. When you get like oil trucks or bigger trucks driving on the driveway, if you don't have that border, the weight of the truck can actually push the driveway and spread it out to the sides. So you want that Belgian block to hug and hold and keep the shape of it. Also, because the block is in a cement footing, to keep it there, it's not going to fall over if you were to like accidentally hit it with one of the tires on the car or something like that. Besides that, if you have any surface water that would otherwise hit the driveway and go underneath the driveway and then freeze and upheave the driveway, you're not going to have that with the Belgian block. The footings can help keep that surface water at bay and off to the side, so it doesn't undermine the work that you're doing. This is going to help the driveway to last longer. So Belgian block does serve a structural purpose as well as a cosmetic. I'm going to go into the driveway drains. I have a little pet peeve about these. So I see a lot of people using these plastic driveway drains. I don't know if you've seen them around, but they're just skinny little plastic pieces, and they seam them together. And like after a year, they come apart all seams because they're held together with glue. And I'm like, you can't have a driveway drain held together with glue. What makes you think it's gonna work when you drive a car over? Of course it's gonna fall apart. So then I come in here and they're like, oh, you're gonna put one of those like, drive. I'm like, no, we're gonna cut it out. I'm gonna dig it short. We're gonna do a cement cinder block, concrete trough, 6-inch wide, steel grate. And they're like, wow, okay, that's different. Yeah. I was like, yeah, because you need it to work. When I'm done, it needs to work. I've done so many repairs on those little plastic things, and I cut those out, tear those out, and you can see the ones we put in here. That's a driveway drain grate and trough done the correct way.
No, I agree, because I didn't realize what happened was like he was laying up cinder blocks. I said, but where's the drain? Where's the pipe? He goes, no, the cinder blocks are going to become your drain. We're going to have a pipe at each end, but yet those cinder blocks are going to be the structural support. And it's like, I was like mind-boggling. I couldn't imagine how that was going to be a drain, but little by little, it started to take shape, and I realized what he was doing, and it's like, wow, you're absolutely right. I can see it now.
Every piece has a purpose.
Right, and knowing that, I could go over that drain, and the way it was designed, that water will actually not glide right over it, but the way it was pitched properly, that it's not on, the drain is not on a slope where the rest of the, no, it actually comes down, and then it's almost like a flat or 90 degree.
It levels out, yeah.
Right, and then it'll come down again, because this way you have time for water to actually be trapped in there without actually not in a way of hydroplane, but like it could literally just go right over, skip over the drain.
If you have a steep pitch and the water goes too fast, skip right over the drain. Feats the purpose of having the drain. So you want to level that drain out so the water drops in, and give it that kind of like stop point.
After we had our first little bit of rain, I was outside even at nighttime. It was like, Ray's like, what are you doing? It's like, well, I want to see the drain work.
That's something I bet you never were going to do when like, what are you I'm going out to look at the driveway drain. Hang on, I got to check this out.
That was crazy, but I was actually watching the rain come down. It wasn't a heavy enough rain, but yet we did see it. And then I go down to the foot of the garage. I opened up the door. Wow, I watched the rain go through the drain. It was amazing.
At night in the rain with a flashlight because I want to see my driveway.
Yeah, exactly. And I take pride in the work that Daryl did, let alone the investment that I made, because it's going to last me, man, I'll tell you. Just a little bit, whatever came from the drain down came here and either went that way or made it way to the drain. But yeah, there's like no puddle or nothing. So
Now, I've been working for you for years now.
Right.
And I remember this was always a problem. I think one of the first jobs I ever did was a patch job here because this part of the driveway was just constantly an issue, and there was constantly a problem with ice, and there was upheave, and there was all kind of issues. So finally we got this done, and it's finished.
He's very good because he did see something, and yet he and I had a contract, we agreed to it, and he didn't have to go over his price. He stuck to it, and that makes me feel great because he's trustworthy and honest. Great job, really. Great company.
There's nothing like pulling into your house on a nice new black rich driveway and just stepping out on that driveway. It just feels good.
Yeah.
It looks good. It feels good.
So if I ever decided to paint this deck myself and power wash it, it'll be done over 8 weeks because I don't feel like doing it.
Look how gorgeous this deck came out compared to what it was when we started.
I realized, you know what, it's time for a new coating. So once again, reached out to Daryl. We came in, they power washed it down, sanded whatever, and got 2 coats of a nice good stain. I mean, knowing that he is in Carmel, I live in Carmel, I mean, we do know where his physical office is. It's not a front, it's a real place. I've been in there, you know, so it's like, he's got great staff in there too. Sometimes you don't need a fence guy, you don't need a deck guy, you don't need a driveway guy, all you need is a honeydew guy. He's right here.
Thanks.